Ever since he exploded into stardom back in 2022, there have been dozens of self-proclaimed alpha males who have tried to replicate Andrew Tate's formula, saying and doing anything for the sake of internet clicks. And in today's video, we are going to dive into some of the most degenerate, self-deprecating Andrew Tate clones, starting with the most infamous one, Sneako. Hi, I'm Danger, and my job is to expose the biggest weirdos on the internet, so sit back, have a snack, and subscribe. Sneako began his career back in 2013, creating commentary videos discussing social and political issues, such as gay marriage in the US and Syria war. At just 14 years old, Sneako's self-awareness and ability to rationalize was extraordinary.
80% of you over 19 years of age haven't accomplished the dreams you had as a kid.
And in 2018, Sneako would become known for his introspective and thought-provoking content, with his unique editing style. He'd display his perspective on life as a struggling teenager growing up in New York City. However, in 2022, seemingly out of nowhere, Sneako completely jumped on the red pill bandwagon. As he'd become a warm-up version of Andrew Tate, Sneako would completely start to go against his beliefs for the sake of getting more views, as he'd essentially start to worship Andrew Tate, mimicking his mannerisms and his catchphrases, whilst becoming an obnoxious incel, making fun of religion and spewing out misogynistic views.
Shut up and clean and stay home and don't do anything, just be an object in the crib.
And despite the controversy, Sneako's radical rebrand worked, as he achieved the most growth he'd ever had. But as far as he came up, the faster he came down, as his YouTube channel would get terminated just a few days after he hit 1 million subscribers. In 2023, Sneako's content consists of OnlyFans models and prawn stars, a far cry from someone who was once labelled the Kanye West of YouTube. But Sneako's egregious downfall isn't even the worst thing to come out of the red pill community, as his next guy should probably be in jail. Zherka has gained the reputation of a toxic clout chaser who will do anything for the sake of getting a reaction, saying racial slurs and making pedophilic jokes.
Are you a pedophile? I started as a nigger, but now I'm a pedophile.
Zherka was an ex-nightclub bouncer who made his name back in 2019 for an internet reality dating show in which the host would gather a bunch of streamer e-girls to date a random person, similar to today's e-dates in which a famous girl would date a bunch of guys. In an event now known as the birth of Zherka, Zherka saw this as the perfect opportunity to make his internet debut, as he would immediately get the charm of the audience with his unapologetically unhinged personality.
I want a girl that, like with a mute button, if I say, yo, you're pissing me off, just go away for a bit.
From the jump, Zherka was a troll, trolling the women and even the host. Zherka would quite do anything to achieve his goal of internet success.
Bro, I'm new to this online shit, but I'm gonna have 100 fucking million subscribers, mark my fucking words.
And from this moment on, through his charismatic and brutally honest personality, Zherka would be born, as he would gain a significant following the stream, allowing him to remain relevant in the months to come. In which from this point, he would create his own Twitch channel, which would consist of content in which he would go out in public, being a total menace, with the combination not caring about any combination of hosts. Zherka's unorthodox approach to streaming not only set him apart, but also kind of foreshadowed the red pill creators that would emerge in the years to come. And this would lead Zherka into building a cult-like fanbase, as he'd reach over 100,000 followers within his first few months of streaming. However, with Twitch's rigid terms of service, Zherka would get banned multiple times, forcing him to take a backseat from his rise to the top. Skipping to 2023, following the explosion of the red pill space, Zherka would make his appearance in the mainstream, going on podcasts like Fresh and Fit and No Jumper. Zherka became a shock value version of Andrew Tate, as he had it as his objective to say the most controversial things, whether he truly believed it or not, resulting to becoming a complete incel. He'd start to yell racial slurs.
I'm on Zherka on kick.com. You fucking nigger.
Become a total misogynist.
Men are better at everything compared to women.
Zherka became a certified edgelord for the sake of getting reactions, as he went from a once beloved member of the Twitch community to a drug-abusing cloud chaser who would do anything for a reaction.
Andrew and Tristan, imagine when you see me face to face on the street. Any hotel lobby you see me, run at me and see what the fuck I do to you, old man.
Embarrassing himself on multiple occasions, like the time he picked a fight with another streamer named HS.
Tiki-talkie, your mother's a fucking whore!
Only to get himself beat up in the middle of the street. Zherka became an absolute keyboard warrior for the sake of clicks. It's a clear theme that to be a part of the red pill community, you have to try and be the most outlandish person in the room, getting people's attention by any means possible, whether it be through your lavish lifestyle or your flamboyant dating life. But what happens when you have none of that? This next guy is probably the worst attempt at trying to be a rep guru.
Here is why it's easy for me to take your bitch. Yes, I'm skinny, but I have decent tone, you know, like I feel good. But here's the problem, is that all you guys that go to the gym, you're taking pre-workout, you got these stupid shaker bottles, making noises. You look like a bunch of fucking idiots. You need to have a high income skill set. And you saying to me that the gym is all that matters to me and it keeps me centralized, it means you have a lack of self-confidence. You need to stop going to the fucking gym. It does not matter.
Jason Wojo was a finance TikToker who went viral overnight for his idiotic remarks.
Let's take you for example and me, and we both pull up and we go to your girl. Odds are I'm gonna take that bitch, because you're probably sitting there, maybe you're making 40 grand a year, 60 grand a year, you're not really sexy. So I come up, I'm pulling up in my Batmobile, it's just gonna be like no competition necessary. So the next time you think that your girl's on lock, I got the keys to the castle, motherfucker.
With his ridiculous clownish opinions, Jason became the prime example of trying to fake it till you make it without actually ever making it. In his cringe attempt at trying to replicate Andrew Tate's formula, Jason would furthermore sink his non-existent career. After being exposed by multiple YouTubers such as Penguin Zero and Sunny V2, Jason's entire online image was fabricated, from his bought 900,000 followers, to his rented cars, to being exposed for not even having enough money to pay his own editors. Jason's career is now dead, leaving him to resort to paying for likes and comments on his Instagram. It's clear that the majority of these repo creators don't really care about the supporters and are basically just doing anything to sell their courses. But what happens when you try to sell a course that you're not even a specialist in? Fresh and Fit have garnered notoriety in the repo space for their extremely over-the-top podcasts in which they gather a bunch of female guests around the table to discuss modern-day topics such as dating and society. With the combination of OF girls and hosts that proclaim themselves as alpha males, it's a complete recipe for disaster, as the ideology they preach is complete insanity.
One of the mandatory ingredients for respect, you guys want to know what it is? Fear. Fear, whether it's physical violence or of loss. But the point is that woman needs to be scared.
Fresh and Fit are 30-year-old single men who claim to be playboys, bragging about smashing prostitutes.
Today we're going to talk about my W in terms of having 3 women in one day. I met this guy at a pool party. He's an NBA player. So he's like, yo, dude, you know what? I'm having a mansion party like the next day. Come through. I got you. I'm at his mansion party, right? There's like 40 girls and like 5 guys. He says to me, yo, come through, bro. So he's like, yo, pick 3 that you want, and I got you. I was like, 3 that I want? Is it like a buffet? Shoot, I'll take it. I'm like, what the heck? Is it that easy? What happened was, I did my thing with one of them, came back outside, went back in the room later on. So basically, I had 3 girls in one night. It sounds crazy, guys, but there's a whole other world outside of the regular dating circle where guys of high value can actually like set up certain things that regular guys can't.
Not to mention how they sell a dating course promising lonely men that will change their lives at just a cheap price of $6.97, only to be exposed for being on sugar baby websites in which you basically have to buy women gifts in order for them to date you.
You approached me on a sugar daddy website and asked me to be your sugar baby and then couldn't afford my allowance.
Never did.
They brag to their young audience about how many women they get, whilst conveniently not mentioning that most of their relationships are completely transactional. All in all, the red pill business has become extremely lucrative of exploiting lonely young men. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button to help me on my journey to 1,000 subscribers.